What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mr. Straight Facts Show. I'm Mr. Straight Facts. Today, let's start off first off, just give respects because we found out. I don't understand why we found out just today. I haven't figured that out yet. I haven't heard anybody explain why. But today we got to find out the other two people who were murdered in Kuwait. And I don't blame Iran. I blame Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth, because they started a war and didn't let our military men and women know what to do. They didn't let them know what was going on. Just started out of nowhere. The place they were in wasn't fortified. All that. So yeah, I blame it on Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth. There would be no bomb had they not sent bombs right after a negotiation in which both sides said it was a good negotiation and was looking forward to having the next negotiation. In comes Israel. And while they're having good negotiations, Israel's like, fuck it, I'm gonna bomb them. Tells America, and America has no time to respond. It was either you're in or you're out. And Donald Trump jumped in. Instead of saying, we're the superpower, sit your ass down for a second, Netanyahu, and wait. Couldn't do that. Couldn't be a man, couldn't be a superpower, couldn't be a leader like that. He capitulated to Bibi Netanyahu. And we started a war that we have no understanding when it's going to end. Could be short, could be one of those forever, ever wars. But I digress. But these are the 6 men and women who lost their lives in it. Major Jeffrey R. O'Brien, 45. He's a new person we found out today. And also right below him was another, it's in the far right corner. Chief Warrant Officer, I'm guessing that's 3rd class. It just says 3. Robert M. Marzon, he's 54. He's the addition to the other 4, which we've given much love and respect to these past, 6 days? What it's been, 5 or 6 days? Again, prayers to your families. I know it's not much, but I hope the people who, Donald Trump, Pete Hegseth, and all the leaders who made this decision, I hope they pay for this. I really do. I don't know how, but God, I hope they pay for it. Because there's no reason that we should be at war. And we're going to go through some things, ladies and gentlemen, because you know I'm Mr. Straight Facts, so I want to get some facts to the whole process. One of the things I had to really kind of like delve into today, because, you know, I don't like delving into an area that I haven't done too much research on, but I do know in the recent past is Israel. Iran has not sent any bombs to kill any one of us, right? And never have they sent a bomb that's landed on American soil, right? And really never have they sent a bomb that killed American citizens overseas first. It's always been a retaliation to us and our allies sending bombs and killing them and them responding, which to me, it pisses me off. Because again, they know Americans are just going to blindly say, patriotism, America, America, without knowing the real truth, without caring about the real truth, because you're going to get all this hate them, hate them, hate them, and not know the truth. The propaganda that's spread to American citizens is disrespectful. To American citizens, it's insane. When you learn about our relationship with Iran, you're going to be pissed. Let me put it this way. I was pissed. I can't tell you what you're going to be. But when I found out our relationship with Iran, dating back before 1953, I mean, way back, oh, dog. That to me was like, America, you got to, just like we're asking white people to fess up to their sins of their ancestors and accept the fact that your ancestors were shit, and not all of you, but I'm talking about the ones who were racist and shit like that, and disrespectful and colonizers, and deal with that. America, all races, colors, and creeds. We have to deal with the fact that America over centuries has been shit to other people. It's going to be painful to look at your country and look at your flag and look at it like kind of side-eyed. Like, because of the leaders that we've had in this country. You're going to trip off this shit. I'm telling you, Americans, if you're going to ask white people to do the homework and fess up to the sins of this country and fix it, you got to look to our leadership, our country, and our ideologies and fess up to it and make it a better country. Because otherwise, you can't sit here and tell everybody to be good without looking back at Americans and saying, woo, you need to learn some things first before you start teaching people. We out here teaching other countries what to do. And in all reality, they are teaching us shit. We just ain't listening because we've been dumbed down. We've been told lies, and we believe in this thing that we call patriotism, that we call America's great. We believe in that shit because we done heard it enough. But if you start to look into your past, you'll understand why white people and these colonizing type white people and these racist white people, why they're fearing. Because if the rest of us, the American citizens, are going toward, like 70% of us are going toward, fuck all that dominant bullshit and racist and sexist, and we trying to be united, as we've always said we were, but we're trying to actually reach that bitch. They're freaking out because they love killing people. They love lying to people. They love money. They love taking people's oil for the fuck of it. They like throwing bombs. They think it's a game. Judging by the fact that they blended real life video. This is our military. Pete Hegseth and these dumbass racist white boys. They blended a video game of killing people with real life shit. Like it's a game. Look, we got big bombs. Look what we're doing. It's just like in the game. Are you fucking kidding me? When you learn about this country and what it really does, you're going to look at it kind of side-eyed. American citizens, we doing our best to be just righteous and want good things to happen. But we have to fess up to what our leaders have been doing for centuries. We keep up looking up to these presidents like they were like doing a great thing and wonderful thing and our country's great. No, our presidents were pieces of shit for what they've done to other countries. 100%. 100%, yo. There's only been a few that's done right by other countries. Not all, some. There's only a few countries they're done right by. It's crazy. That to me, and let me take them down because I don't want to have them in this. My bad. That was kind of disrespectful. But let me get back here. Okay. I want you guys to understand. I'm gonna give just a little bit of the history of this, just a little bit. Now, I didn't know this. I had to dig into this. Maybe you guys did. So, I caught up with your intellect. But did you know Iran was usually, back in the day, was called Persia? I didn't know that. Iran used to be called Persia. Okay, I'm geographically stupid. I get it. But back in the early 19th century, or 19th century, early 20th century, when it was named Persia, they were trapped between two different empires. Russia, their empire, and the British Empire. Caught between the two. Who were taking their major resource, which was oil. And that's where we get you see the gas company, or when you go buy gas, some of you have in your states, BP, that's it. They were taking a lot of their resources and was barely paying Persia, which became Iran, anything. And they had a leader in place in that country that was doing right by the British and Russian empires, not by Iran or Persia. So the actual country decided at some point they wanted to break away from these two empires. They'll still sell them oil, but they're no longer going to let them rule their oil and just give them pieces of it. They elected a leader, got the other guy out that was ruling authoritarian like Donald Trump and all these other people, ruling kind of authoritarian like, and was destroying different things in that country and was doing whatever the British and the Russian empires were telling it to do, starving its people, taking all the riches from the oil and the reserves. So they democratically elected their own person. And that person became president or head of that country and the leader. And what he did was nationalize the oil, their biggest resource. So they nationalized it. Now, what we mean by nationalize in a generic situation is before the majority of the proceeds from this oil was going to Russia and to the British empires. And, Iran or Persia, they were receiving, at this time, I think it was by this time it's Iran, they were receiving the small portion. Well, when they elected their new person, they're like, wait a minute, this is our soil. This is our sovereignty. You can't take our shit. No, that other leader was your little puppet. But no, this is our country. We should be able to get the proceeds, the majority proceeds on our motherland. You should not be able to rob our lands and take our oil without giving us anything or giving us a small amount. It's our resources and we will deal with it as we do. And the proceeds is going back into our country, and our people through different types of funding situations are going to be the ones helped. Not you. You can get your oil and pay for it and everything, but you're not going to take the oil, the resources rather, and the proceeds and just give us a piece. No, that ain't going to be the case. So he did that. The country loved him for helping them out and giving actual love to their own citizens. They're like, yay, finally we got a leader that gives a fuck about the Iranian people, and therefore they love their leader. They elected him. They love their leader. Here comes America. America wasn't in on this Russian empire or this, the Russian empire or the British empire. They weren't in on it at all. They come to this country and they just sit here and just like, they weren't on the colonizer tip. They were just helping this country out and vice versa. We were allies. Iran and America had great relationship because America at the beginning didn't treat them like Russia and the British Empire at all. So we had a great relationship with Iran. Right? But once they started this closing out the oil and giving it the majority of the proceeds to their own people, their own sovereignty, their own land, America treated them like a sovereign country. The other two did not. But somewhere along the way, America got cool with Iran, really tight, and then realized that these resources were a lot. And decided amongst themselves that, we should be able to get in on this. Forget Russia, forget Britain. They're trying to become a superpower, like this huge superpower. And I think we should be able to get it because we cool with you, right? We cool with you. We let you be a sovereign nation. We ain't trying to do nothing. We appreciate y'all being a sovereign nation. But, you're going to have to come up off of that, giving it just to your country. That can't happen. You know what they call that? Communism. They tried to call communism them giving the proceeds of their resources to their people, communism. How many of you guys knew that because we have resources here that benefit America for the majority, that we're a communist country? I didn't know that. Our oil majority goes to us. That means we're a communist country. Based on America's perspective to Iran at the time, they were calling them a communist country because they took the oil proceeds and kept it in their country. Never mind the fact that all the resources in the Russian empire, that their proceeds went majority to their country. British empire, their proceeds went majority to their country. The Americas, the majority of our resources went to our country. We went over there and told them the same thing eventually that the Russian empire and the British Empire did, but we did it sneakily. They already knew the demons they were dealing with Russia and Britain because they had been doing with them the whole time. They were the ones that were colonizing them. America came in like, we're not colonizers. That's where Iran fucked up. Trust in America. Doesn't that suck? Iran fucked up by trusting America. They loved us. In fact, they sent doctors and things of that nature to this country back then to learn from America because we were just that cool. But here's the thing. America didn't fuck over Iran in their face. No. They continued to act like they were boys, that we weren't a colonizing country. We love your sovereignty. You know what we did to Iran? Well, in 1953, that's what everybody's talking about, this 53 and the 47 years that Pete Hegseth said, and a lot of these Republicans are saying, I'm sure some Democrats are saying as well. I haven't seen it, but I'm sure they're going to say it too. In 1953, when he was talking about 47 years or some shit ago, it's longer than that, but he said 47 years ago. He's talking about 1979, I'm guessing, when that happened. But in 1953, they had a, it was 1951 when it happened. In 1951, Iran elected Mohammed. It was Prime Minister Mohammed Mossadegh. It's Mossad, Mossadegh. I can't pronounce it, right? And that's the one that had nationalized it, which means that the majority of the profits from the oil went straight to the people of Iran. So in 1953, you know how Donald Trump and his people are coming up with this, Operation this, Operation that. This is Operation Mad Fury or whatever the fuck he calls it. In 1953, there was something called Operation Ajax. You heard me. 1953, Operation Ajax. What was Operation Ajax outside of being detergent back in the day? I believe they had Ajax back in the day as a detergent. Which is kind of funny because it is kind of cleansing some other country. They're kind of clever. Our CIA and the British intelligence, crazy how the British Empire and the Russian Empire were robbing that country of its resources for the longest time. Then America comes in and says to Iran, we boys, we think y'all a sovereign country. Love y'all. Hugs and kisses. See you later. Did that shit. Continued that while connecting up with the British through their intelligence and our CIA. And behind the scenes, we fucked Iran like a mother. No grease, no Vaseline, nothing. We started a coup by getting into their country and started protesting. Think about this shit. This country has a history now because of America and Britain. They have a history of that when there's an uprise of protesting, soon after that, America or Britain fucks them over. That's the history of America dealing with Iran, dealing with Britain, the CIA, Operation Ajax, went behind their back and fucked over Iran, who trusted us. Now, I wouldn't even say trusted. I say loved us, respected us, sent their people to our country and back and forth, traded information, everything. They were like, it's us now. These people over here, Russia and Britain, we ain't giving them nothing. We dealing with America. And America turned around, got with the British behind their back, did the intel thing, started up all these different protests in their country, and got rid of their leader, the one who had nationalized everything. This man died in prison, the leader that the country loved. So America, whom was boys with them, teamed up with their enemy behind the scenes so they can get it all corrupted in their country and send money to people to start protesting, get them to hate each other, mad at each other, divide each other, all for the purposes of getting rid of that leader that was giving the oil proceeds to their people so they can plant another dude in to be an authoritarian and give BP, British, and America more control of their oil. America says we did it because we didn't want Russia to become the superpower over there. It'd rather be America. So they teamed up with Britain and eased out Russia. But at the same time, all three of them fucked over Iran. How in the fuck do Americans think that people, if we do something like that to a country that we had respect for, they have respect for us, at least we were lying about our respect. They literally had fucking respect for us and was thankful that they could be in a relationship with somebody who wasn't fucking them over like Britain and like Russia was. They saw us as non-colonizer. I don't know why, Iran, you trusted this fucking country. We have been a piece of shit forever. I don't know why you trusted this country. I honestly don't. Because this country fucked over Iran. 1,000%. You go back and look at history. Today, y'all, I got so disgusted. I promise you, I look back in history and I'm hoping to find where America did something wonderful and great to these people, and they fucked us over, and they deserve to get what they fucking got. But I promise to God, as God is my witness, I can't find none. It is always America fucking people over. Always. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. Maybe, possibly, they fucked us over first. It is always us fucking over everybody else first. And then when they retaliate, they're the terrorists. Jesus fucking Christ. Can we at least find one time in history this motherfucking country has done right by its people, has done right by other countries? It ain't even out there. I can't find it. I promise you, I want to hear it. Because I was disgusted today. When I found out how much we had fucked this country over. We fucked this country with no Vaseline. I mean, and we don't kill their babies. And we want to sit here and act like they're supposed to say they love us. How the fuck are you supposed to love us? They trusted us. And we stabbed them in the back with Britain. With the CIA in 1953. We put a guy in. It was the Shah. It was called the Shah rule. We put him into place. And guess what? Donald Trump don't kill their leader. And he's trying to do it again. America, they found their leader. Well, Donald Trump is out here saying, I want to have a part and a say in who their leader becomes. Fuck you. You don't get to tell them who the fuck leads them. Who the fuck are y'all? You done did this shit over and over again. It's time to stop. Let that country pick who the fuck they want. Let them be a democracy or whatever. They loved our country. They loved our democracy. I promise you they would probably be a fucking democracy right the fuck now if it wasn't for them fucking over that country. And then you want to talk about, look what they do to their people. Fuck you. Look what we do to ours. How the fuck you living in a glass house throwing fucking cement bricks at everybody? How? I'm trying to find the good. The only thing I see good in America is people I see on the street and people I know. But this country is fucking hateful, disrespectful, dirty. How the fuck is this country great? Make it great again. Tell me when the fuck it was great. I knew what it did to black people and I've been pissed forever. But when you look at what they've done to everybody else, this boy, I'm going to tell you right now, 100%. I don't know how anybody trusts white people. 100%. I don't know how. I don't know how. It's not like you come with a I'm a good white person sticker on you. I have no fucking clue. Every horrible thing in this fucking world has a white face behind the weapon. Whether that weapon be a gun, whether that weapon be dissent, whether that weapon be division, whether that weapon be disinformation, it is always some rich, pathetic, evil-ass white person behind it. Whether they be British white people, whether they be United States white people, what the fuck is going on? Just the lack of pigment makes you this fucking hateful? How the fuck? How did God create that? You can't tell me he created y'all. You can't tell me that. How good is that? That's some hateful ass shit. You fuck over everything you touch. How do people trust you? How do you trust yourself? How do you trust other white people? How do you know where's a good white person, white people? How do you know? I sat all day today disgusted when I found this shit out. This is the umpteenth time I done seen white people have destroyed other people's lives. And what is it over? Oil, property, money. It's like they got no feelings for anything else other than shit that costs something. That shit, it's fake. It's paper, people. God damn, it's paper. You killing people, harming people, blowing up kids for oil. And then you sit there and talk about, what about the Muslims? What about this? You have fucked them over so much they hate you. When you go back and look at history, the Iranians loved us. They loved Americans. It is America that fucked them over. They didn't fuck us over. Not one bit. I know people will be like, oh, you racist, you hate white people. I do not. I am just disgusted. I think good white people should be disgusted. How the fuck these people keep doing this shit? Just destroying people's lives for what? Had we been good, Iran was giving us everything we needed. They loved us. They cared about America. They felt like America is looking out here, wanting everybody to be a democracy, a sovereign nation, respect and respect. That's it. We could have totally had a symbiotic relationship with Iran, got their oil at a good price, better than Russia and better than Britain, because they had been fucking them over for years. We could have came in and just been good. But no. These were brown people, and we in this country were led by white people. I feel more comfortable with white people. Let me go back over here to Britain, which is crazy because we left Britain because they was killing each other. We left Britain because Britain people in America, they want to get away from them because they was just killing each other and raping and pillaging and stealing and pirating, and they were just horrible human beings. They were savages to each other. Decided to split off and come to the new world, be savages again, but to brown people and other people didn't look like. This is what kills me too. Because when you get a situation when you hear these racist ass white people, I want a white nation. I'm going to be in a white nation. We're going to have white people and then we're going to respect each other. You understand, when you was mostly white in Europe, y'all was killing each other and eating each other, bitch. You ain't going back to being like, oh, great nation, nigga. You never been one. You were savages before you came to this new world. You didn't know how to wash your ass. You still don't. Half you motherfuckers out here talking about, I don't use no wash rag. I don't use no, so poor people do that. No, clean people do that, you dumbass. Not poor people, clean people. You germ-carrying bastard. All the diseases are here because y'all dirty. The fuck? Fucking piss me off, man. I am so angry after learning about, I promise you, I searched and I said, I want to know the truth. And I even said, God, please let this be a time where America did something right. I just want to feel proud about this country, you know, the way we dealt with other countries. I want to see where they fucked us over. You know, they stole something from us. They tried to kill us for no reason. You know, they blew up a boat or something that didn't happen. I just want to see something where some other country fucked us over and we retaliated. I wanted to see that. I wanted to be proud of this fucking country. Find something. And when I found out, yo, I ain't never really like been depressed in my life, but man, I didn't have no emotion other than just deep-seated anger. I couldn't talk to nobody. I was just sitting all day festering with this shit. I can't believe it. Are we ever fucking good? Where the fuck y'all get great from? Look what you did to Africans. For centuries, you ate them. You killed their babies. You made laws so that your white women could beat babies with a frying pan to death and then have the slaves clean it all up. Could you imagine? They created that law, 16-something, for white men who raped the slaves. And when they had the babies that were mixed, they got to be in the house, running around playing, because they were the master's little babies, half babies. And the white women were pissed, and they were killing these babies whenever they got mad. This little kid do something wrong, bap, hit him in the head with a frying pan. Not once, over and 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 over till that kid was dead. And this was not a one-time occurrence. These heifers was killing black babies like he was fucking eating Skittles in his bitch. So much so, these white men didn't want their wives to go to jail by all these damn black babies being killed by them, that they created a law that guaranteed that that white wife could kill that baby if that baby dissented and didn't follow an order. Well, how can you prove that? The baby's dead. That was the point. Covered that white woman's ass for killing black babies. Don't believe I'm telling the truth? Go search it for yourself. It's fucking disgusting. It's disgusting. I paint the picture because I want you to think of your baby right now. If a black woman walk up to your child with an iron pan, didn't hit them once, hit them until they died, and then told you to go get your white kids and clean it up, get it out of my house. Fucking go ballistic. And you want black people to forget this shit. Ooh. The nerve. But I promise you, I was looking for this to be a reason that we could be mad at Iran. I can't. I can't. I'm mad at racist white people. Because once again, they fucked something up. These people loved them. The Iranians loved them because they allowed them to be a sovereign nation. They weren't trying to take them over. But little did they know, America was in the back pocket or front pocket, or somewhere in the pocket with the British people. And I would have to say we was in their pocket because they ended up getting most of the oil. That's how you get BP, that British company. And you know what's crazy? They hired, this being right after they decided in 1951 they got a president. One of the first things they did, that president hired a guy. Let me see what his name was. Morgan Schuster. He was an American advisor. Okay? It was an American advisor he hired to try to help Iran gain financial independence. They hired this man, an American, because they trusted us. They hired him to help them figure out how they can get the money from the oil, oil reserves and shit like that, and how they could become financially independent, how the money can go into the country and start helping the people, water and food and clothes, and just make it a sovereign nation and take care of their country. And once looking up to America, like, look, we want to be like y'all. We want to have the same type of shit y'all got. Blah, 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 blah. They loving us. And this Schuster guy, turns out he was a good guy. He found out about it and figured out, like, oh, okay, this is how you can do it, stuff like that. And once he started getting it together and figuring out how this country can become independent, I'm guessing these numbers must have been astronomical, because that's when the Americas and Britain started getting together. Like, oh, they must have looked at it and said, oh, that's a lot of money they're going to be making. Sure going to be bad that they can't take it. It's going to come to us. And that's when they set a foot and decided to take this country over. So from 1953 to 1979, they had this Shah in place. This guy ruled with an iron fist. This guy was planted by American leaders and the British leaders, but mostly American. They got to choose their leader and put the one that they had elected through their process to represent them. And all these people have been promised that this oil was going to help them build their country into a better nation, a sovereign nation, and they were excited about it. And then they pulled the hopes and dreams out from under Iran and jailed their president and placed in somebody that these people did not want, did not care about. And that person ruled from 1953 to 1979. America fucked them over royally. And it all came from them trusting. Iran never did anything to hurt us. They loved us. Didn't do nothing to hurt us. Didn't do anything to respect us. Not respect us, but disrespect us. All they had was respect for us. They didn't like Britain. They didn't like Russia because they were basically they were their colonizers. America wasn't the colonizer. But lo and behold, they trusted these white people. And these white people fucked them over royally for the money. Not only did they fuck them over for their money, they taught the rest of the world that these people were savages, that these people were horrible, when they never did anything to be horrible to America. They just looked at their ways and made it and demonized it, all while being the demon. Tell me, if me and you were in a relationship, good night, woke Mike. Have a good night. If me and you were in a relationship and I fucked you over and then went and told everybody else you fucked me over and that you weren't a good person and this, that, and the third, you'd be shitty. Would you be saying love to America, love to Drew? Or would you be like, fuck him? Death to Drew. Of course you would be saying death to Drew. Of course you would. Of course you would. You'd be lying if you said you wouldn't. It's just scary, y'all. It's scary that you got people who, and again, this isn't all white people. This is just saying the bad ones. But I asked white people, how are we supposed to know the bad from the good? Because they treated Iran nicely. They looked like and acted like good white people until they turned. They saw Britain as bad white people. They saw Russia as bad white people. We were good white people until we turned on them. And trust me, I looked everywhere that I could. Now, you may be able to find it, and please do. If you can find it, I always trust people to go look out their own information. I was trying to find out where they fucked us. I'm like, where'd you fuck us at? I got to find something. I'm sitting there. At this point, I'm trying to find stuff they did. Before, I'm just searching like, what happened? I'm not going to be biased in my search. What happened here? And when I started reading it, I'm like, please tell me that they did something. Everything they did was in retaliation to shit we did or other countries did that we were allies with. It's terrible, y'all. It's terrible. The shit that I found out. You do your own research, but the shit I found out put me in a tailspin of like, this goddamn country, boy. We got to start getting leaders that are better. We got to start demanding more. We can't be great if we're fucking over everybody. And you got Pete Hegseth and some of these people out here screaming and hollering, telling you, you know, they say death to America. It's about time you blow them up. No. Learn the history. Of course, they should be saying death to America. Why would they love us? Why would they like us? If anybody needs to say they're sorry, it's America. They need to say they're sorry to Iran. Let's work out some deals. Let's make this right. We understand you hate us. You got a right to. But let's make it right. And you know what's so crazy? Oh, boy. You know what's so crazy? Over the years since 1979, Iran has tried twice. Even though they didn't fuck us over, they have tried twice to help us when we needed them. Twice. When 9/11 happened, they were there. And then they tried to make some other deal with us, and we reneged on them. Told them we didn't need their help. Now, there's a part that we bring up and we talk about. What about the Iran crisis, the hostage crisis? On the news, in the 70s. Yeah. 79. I think it happened around 79, 80, somewhere around there. And so I'm thinking, what's his name? I was 8, so it had to be Jimmy Carter was president. All this history had happened since 1951, and they got control over in 51. So 53 all the way down to 79. Now, in 79, there was a group of people, they called themselves the Iranian students, and they seized the U.S. embassy in Tehran and took 52 American diplomats hostage. It lasted for 444 days and ended with a diplomatic relations between the two countries, Iran and America. Now, everybody made that out to be like, oh, they're just horrible people, blah, blah, blah. They took these hostages and da, 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 da. What's the story behind it? Well, the Shah that they put into place for 24 years to rule against them, rule over them rather, in a very heavy-handed, heavy-fisted, kept this country basically poor on purpose. Their resources, their money was coming to us in Britain while they were getting poorer and poorer. Money was coming in and enriching us from their soil, from their sovereign nation, supposed to be sovereign, but in America put this person in place just so they can keep that dude rich and rule over that country the way America and Britain wanted them to rule over that country. And that country had no say-so in the way that it was going. So you would see, if their shit was, and it's crazy how Americans like, well, you can go over there looking like a third world country. We forced them to be that in that country, the way it was over there, because we starved them of their resources on purpose. We took their major resource that would make their country stronger and wealthier, be able to invest in their people, and we put a dude in front of it that gave money to us and kept money for themselves and let their country run off of fumes. And they're supposed to love this country. They're supposed to yell love to America, not hate to America. Well, guess what? They used to say love to America until America fucked them over. Not once, but for fucking 30 years, from 1950 to 1979, what was that? 26 years? 26 years of hell America caused. They were on the up. They were going up. They got their oil, their resources. They got an American guy to tell them how they can turn their country over and make it wealthier country and take care of itself and be a sovereign nation. They were heading on up. Then they got rid of that president, put him in jail for nothing. He died in jail. He didn't do nothing wrong. He just wanted his country to be a sovereign nation and that his people just weren't set in poverty and they weren't being robbed for their natural resources. Who wouldn't want that? America and Britain and Russia, but Russia got edged out. So as they're sitting there hating us every day of this 26 years, they're supposed to love us? How stupid is that? Of course they wouldn't love us. They'd hate us. You'd hate them if they did it to us. 26 years of that. Well, 26 years of it, the leader, the Shah that they had in place for 26 years was out. I don't know if they overthrew him. It was a revolution or anything like that. I think it was a revolution of getting him out. And once they got him out, they were about to charge him, put him in jail for the shit that he did all those years. So they got in control of it. They had a revolution and they put in their own leader. But this Shah that had been ruling over, that was America's boy and Britain's boy, but mostly American, they had his ass hemmed up. They was ready to put him in jail for life. Well, out of nowhere, it turns out that he had cancer and he was dying for cancer. And they said they were going to still put him in jail. He just going to have to die in jail with cancer. Wasn't no love lost for this guy. So in the middle of the night, so to speak, he gets in contact with America and flees the country and comes to America to live the rest of his life and say that he was coming here for medical reasons. And so Jimmy Carter, this is what the story said, had this heart of gold, so to speak, and wanted to help this guy out and decided to get him out of the country. And then he came here and we gave him treatment. That was the story, that they got this guy out of the country that was being charged and supposed to go to jail. They got him out of the country just so they can help him with his chemo and all this shit like that. And he was going to end up dying here in America. That was their story. And they told America that's what they were doing. And oh, we look like we're the hero. We're helping out another guy. Oh my God, we're helping him out. Oh my God, we're just a good people. No. We were harboring a fucking fugitive. We were harboring a fugitive. And we knew we was harboring a fugitive. We just fed to Americans that we were just good people. This guy that we set up for 20-something years to rule, 26 years to rule over them with a heavy fist, and then sit there and talk about the country like a dog. Well, they don't treat their people well. Do you know how hateful you have to be to put somebody in place of a country and then keep talking about that country in a bad, disrespectful, look how they treat their people way, when you're the one who put the guy in charge and you're the one telling him how to treat his people, and you're the one that's telling him how to keep his people poor because you're taking their resources and putting it in American pockets, into rich people's pockets over here with BP. You're stealing their money, controlling their leader, telling their leaders what to do to their own people. And then while we're over here in America, not knowing what's going on overseas, America's news, CNN, MSNBC, and all the other fuckers out here saying, well, they're treating their people so bad. They're killing their people. They're harming their people. They're blah, 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 blah. They were in control of the government all those years. Those things were happening under the rule of a person that was placed there by America. The shit he was doing was justified by America. We got to say it's bad, but continue killing. It's fine. But we got to say it's bad over here. You understand that, right? America's got to look like the beacon of hope. We can't be like a part of that shit. You're going to take the heat on this one. But you're getting paid, right? So just take the heat. They took the heat, the leader over there, and the shit that he was doing. But all that shit was backed by America to do. We're the ones who placed them in the fucking position. Those people didn't want that person as a leader. And America did not want to get rid of that leader, because that leader was doing exactly what America wanted them to do. Make them look good and give them most of the resource money and make that guy rich that was leading the country. He got a kickback to be rich, to be a leader, to be powerful, do whatever the fuck you want, rape, pillage, kill. We don't care. But if you make us look bad, we're going to have to do something to you. Do you understand how evil this country has been? And here we are. After all these years, they done fucked over Iran. Iran comes to the table and trusts us one more again. And instead of partnering with the British, we partnered with Israel and did the same thing over. That was crazy. That was crazy. We did the same thing over, ladies and gentlemen. This war we just started is the same shit that and you know what's so crazy? You got Pete Hegseth and all them talking about, they say death to America. They say this, they say that. And you're like, we didn't know the history of this country and us. And they had to know. They got all the files. They have to know. But it is their job to lie to us on a regular fucking basis. They are lying through their teeth. At every point they can get, they are lying through their teeth. 47 years in that country, they have been living through hell because they trusted this country called America. They have been lied on, cheated on, beaten, raped, murdered, economically destroyed. Authoritarianism for 26 years, all those deaths that they were doing to people over there in America was looking the other way, even though they were the ones who put these leaders into place. It wasn't the elected leader that wanted their country to grow. It was America's leader that wanted their country to die. And all this country did to us was, thank God you guys came. Love you, America. We're going to send our people over there and learn from you, and you can come learn from us if you like. Oh, yeah, thank you for trusting the fact that we're a democracy. You mean we're a sovereign nation. We want to raise our people, respectful, just like you guys. We'll learn from you guys, and maybe we can implement that. On top of that, we trust you so much that we're going to try and figure out how our finances can help get us in a better situation, and we can work with you guys and do trade with you guys, but we got to get our finance together and see how we're going to do all this. Oh, you got somebody. Oh, Marty something? Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Marty's coming over to help. This American guy that's coming over to help. American guy figures out all the finances and was like, wow, you guys got something going. And next thing you know, America fucks them over royally. Good night. Whoever's that? Emma, good night. So that's what they did over and over and over again. I know it's hard to hear. I know people are going to be mad. I know I'm going to lose some people, but I'm not here to make you feel good. I'm here to tell the truth. I don't feel good. I do not feel good. Because I want to respect and love everybody. But not everybody's worthy of love. Pete Hegseth, not worthy of it. Donald Trump, not worthy of it. There's a reason why Donald Trump says he's not going to heaven. Because he's a demon. He knows damn well he's not going to heaven. Because the shit he's got in his mind that he has did, ain't no way in hell God will ever let him in. He knows it. It was just sad. I just could not fathom all the stuff we had done. But they had these hostages. But the reason why they had these hostages was because they had taken the guy who had fucked them over for 26 years. And they were harboring this criminal. And they said, bring him back. He deserves all the shit this man did. This dude had raped, pillaged, killed, starved them, killed their family members, put them in jail forever till some of them died. He had did whatever America wanted him to do to his people. America wanted somebody dead, killed, harmed, getting rid of. They did it to their own people. The resources and the money he was getting from it, he didn't give it to the people. He gave it to America, to Britain, through deals and shit. And that person was rich the entire time while everybody else was broke and poor. Variations of broke and poor. America set that guy in place. And when it was time for him to pay, America extracted him. And this group called the Iranian students went to the embassy and they took 52 American diplomats and said, fuck that. Bring his ass back. What was the country that stole the guy and got him out of the country so that he wouldn't be either arrested, murdered, whatever? Who was that guy? That was the Shah, right? So America snatched the dude for doing all the dirt for him for America for 26 years, got him out there because they knew he was going to be killed by these people or arrested for life for these people. And they brought him here and they treated him with his cancer. And they were shitty, rightfully so, that this guy wouldn't see his day in court or whatever it is they had over there to set up for him. So when you think about the embassy hostage situation, the crisis, America had you believing that it was Iran who was a piece of shit. Nope, it was America. They snatched up the dude that was supposed to be in court and getting what he had done to their people. He deserved, and America protected him. And not until these people stood up for their country and for their rights and for their laws and against the people who fucked them over since 1953. That would be America. Bring his ass back. Would they have done that had this dude been not been stolen by America and we weren't harboring a criminal, a fugitive? No, they wouldn't. They did what they knew they could do. They had just had a revolution and got him out of there. These people were still hyped. And they went and snatched up U.S. citizens, U.S. Embassy people and said, bring his ass the fuck back. Now, does it look like this Iran crisis or embassy shit that we saw on the TV and all this shit back in the day? Does it look like that Iran was a bad people, or was it America? They painted Iran. But they didn't tell you what America had did. They tried to make it seem like we just did something noble. We just took him out of there and helped him with some chemo. They didn't have it there. Bullshit. Bullshit. They snatched him up so that he wouldn't have to pay for what he did to them, that America actually commissioned, so to speak. So today, we get into a deal with them. They give Donald Trump a better deal than Obama. And the next day, hours later, they kill the leader. And guess what? They want to determine who the leader's going to be. What, the next 26 years or whatever the shit is? Why on earth are we fucking with this country over and over and over and over again? Oil, money, power. Racist white men. Little dick energy. At some point in time, Americans got to say, stop. This does not represent us. Stop fucking with our reputation. What little we have of it left, we need to fix, not continue to fuck it up. Doing the same fucking thing. All right, let's. I'm gonna move on to another topic because that hurt. When you go look at this information, just like I ask white people to do the homework, I know how hard it is to go and see that someone that looks like you but not you has done such horrible things, and I understand how you can like try to disassociate yourself. At the same time, you had to have cathartic moments where you've cried or felt bad. It's like, how the fuck? What is wrong with my people? I say the same thing as an American toward what we've done to other countries. What is wrong with my people? My fellow Americans, what is wrong with us? We would probably be in the same places that we are right now, if not further in this country. And we just made that deal with Iran back in the day and X'd out Britain and X'd out Russia and did work with Iran because Iran was ready to give us whatever we wanted because we treated them with respect and these other countries didn't. We could have had a long-lasting relationship with Iran, never to have death to America. It would have been love to America. But we trusted these rich, greedy, white men, hateful bastards. Those who we trusted fucked us over as well as them because it's been our image that's been tarnished. And they've lied. These leaders have lied to their own people just so they can keep up this story and demonize good people. The Iranians have been good to us. The only time they've killed us is in retaliation to the shit we've done to them. And here we are, whitewashing the story. Once again, I did a video earlier today. I said, has America ever really been great? I'm trying to find one. If somebody could tell me a time when America did something great, please send it to me. I'm serious. I need some injection of something we did great, because I'm just tripping off the fact that how the fuckery this country is filled with. As a leader, not the people. Next door neighbors, y'all great people. I'm talking about our leadership, the people we elect. Just saying. I'm just saying. But you guys are good people. I love that. But again, like I said, I'm going to lose some people because people don't like to face the truth. I didn't like to face it. Today, I did not like facing this. It hurt. It really did. I was trying to find one time. I was like, come on. I'm like a crapshoot, man. Come on. Give me something good. And I got nothing but despair, anger, hate. I don't even have hate in my system, but I'm starting to hate these people. Because how hard was it just to be good? They just love being evil. We had already won. We had already had a good relationship. We don't want them to have nukes. We should be worried about Russia having nukes and China having nukes. But no, the country that once loved us, that we done fucked over time and time again and just fucked over again, that's the country we don't want to have nukes. Well, I understand now. As much as you fucked them over, at some point in time, so many times that people are going to get fucked over that they ain't going to launch one. And America can't say nothing. Because out of everybody who has nukes, we're the only dipshits that's ever launched one. It's crazy how the country with the trigger finger that's blown a whole part of a country up in Japan and shit like that, with a nuclear bomb, is the country that's supposed to have the higher moral. Oh, we got the bombs. We got a lot of bombs, more than anybody else. And we're the ones going to be the steward of everybody else's bomb. Really? Nobody else has shot one. Just us. And we're the rulers. I don't know. I promise you, I'm asking God, like, what is this, a reverse universe? I mean, what did you create? Because something about these types of people, you could not have been the creator of that. Because I can't believe that you created that type of evil person. I just can't believe it. I just don't believe it. They're not of God. They're not. They can't be. Much evil as they do, there's no way God lives in them. So I don't know what created them. Jeffrey Epstein, no way God created that. That's a defect. I can't believe that God created something like that. I just can't. I don't want to believe it. Some good news. Kristi GNOME has been fired. Yay. Yay. After all that other shit, it's about the only thing you can say yay to. You know what I mean? I call her cosplay Kristi GNOME. This lady dressed up as everything under the fucking sun. You would think she had movie roles or some shit. I mean, these are just three of them. This heifer played everything. Border Patrol, cowgirl, firefighter. She went everywhere. And everywhere she had an outfit. And it wasn't just a regular outfit. If you ever look at it, you ever notice when you see like a firefighter outfit, like just regular firefighters in the community, FBI, SWAT, just in your community. Whenever you see one, if you've ever seen one in person, their gear is like not form fitting. It's not like it's built to be just tight enough. It is everybody's different shapes. So their gear is not like form fitting, just like built for them. At least it doesn't look like it. Every one of her outfits fit like it was, you know how she's a small woman. How's her jackets? How's her bulletproof vest? How all her shit just fits snug and tight. Because I don't think they make them for kids. I don't know. I'm just saying. So her shit was always as if it was designed just for her. Costume. It's fucking insane. It's just insane. I just don't get it. But she's gone. But I want you to understand something. He took her out. Sorry about that. He took her out. And he took out her boyfriend. Y'all remember Corey Lewandowski? Yeah, he's gone too. These are the two people that bought the $70 million plane that was supposed to be for, deportations, but there was 2 bedrooms in it and only like leather chairs and a bar and like a little office space or whatever. We all know that no immigrants were ever deported in anything that looked like that. They were deported in like big ass cargo planes, and they were chained together. They didn't have no amenities. They didn't sit on no leather. They sat on the ground, chained together. And she wanted people to believe, oh, this is just for that. It's just for, it ain't just for us. It's for, How? And then it turns out this heifer spent $220-something million on those ad campaigns. I don't know how many of you guys have been at the airport in the past year and a half. I had to go to the airport here recently in the last month or so. Different airports and different states. And they were playing all over the place. Over here. Every time I turn around, it was Kristi GNOME. If the audio was up or down or whatever it may be, Kristi GNOME talking about, TSA and this, that, and the other. And it was just insane. You saw her like everywhere. She spent $220-something million on advertisements and the production of this bullshit. The commercial she did. And the crazy part, they found out today was yesterday was it? They found out early this week, I guess. Because they mentioned it. $220-something million, said that Donald Trump approved it. He did. But he looking stupid because he did. $220-something million for it. And her boyfriend, Corey Lewandowski, was a part of this whole thing too. So they might end up in jail because what happened was there was only, I think, 4 companies that received the entire $220-something million. One company by itself received $143 million. Turns out that company, as reported, I think by ABC, one of the networks, that company, and even Nagu said it in there. He said, "Do you know who owns this company or where this company's at?" And she said, "No. We do it by, bidding, is competitive bidding. It wasn't a competitive bid." She got caught lying about that on the stand there, as in that meeting, in the hearing. And they caught her, the goose did. And they found out that agency that received that company that received $143 million, that company is not a real company. That company was formed 8 days before it received $143 million into its coffers. 8 days. $143 million. Turns out that company, who is the owner of that company, is an operative, a Republican operative that is in the state that she used to be employed to. It's somebody there that used to donate to her. That's the person that got the deal. And it's supposed to be on a competitive bid, but it turns out these were non-competitive bids. They didn't bid anything. And they found out that they didn't bid anything because in the contract, it said a no-bid contract. So she chose 4 companies to give this $200-something million to. Now, the question is, did she get any kickbacks? And if she gave these deals to these 4 companies when it's supposed to be hundreds of companies that get these deals, not just 4. they're going to find that she got some of this money. Kristi, no, prepare for jail, girl. Prepare for jail. Because the guy who would protect you, that being Donald Trump, he needs a win. And seeing as how he dropped your ass off at, like Userville, you use and abuseville, you about to feel the wrath of everybody else because Donald Trump just gave them the go-ahead to fuck you and Lewandowski the fuck over. That's what you get for falling in with a guy that has no loyalty for anybody. You better have some information on this fool. You better have seen the video or photos of him doing something that he should not be doing. Because if you ain't got it, sis, your ass going to be under a jail. So before you get kicked out, you might want to go to the FBI, DOJ, and take a picture of some shit that can get your ass free. Because otherwise, your ass is going to be eating not even cornbread, just bread, beans, and water. I know prison's better nowadays, but shit, you get my point. It ain't gonna be those steaks and shit that you was buying. It ain't gonna be no $220 million or $70 million planes. Your ass is gonna be on one of them cargo planes you sent the Venezuelans on. All right, so that's who that was. Now, who's gonna replace her? That would be MarkWayne Mullin. Now, if you've been around me for a while, you know I did a few videos on this dude. I did a video on him, Trump Whisperer translating stupid. He said some stupid shit at one time. He was reading a book or some shit, and I don't think he understood what the book was about, but he tried to claim that he's part Native American or some shit. He's like, I'm Native American on my cousin's side, nephew, dog, my parents, and the horse down the street. That's why I'm there. Man, shut the fuck up. You ain't a Native American. But that's what he said. So he was trying his best to associate himself with another thing other than being white. It's like, all right, whatever, dude. But what's so funny about it is that I celebrate the fact that cosplay Kristi GNOME is gone, but MarkWayne Mullin is no different. Matter of fact, I would say he's worse. To be quite honest, I say he's worse. Never mind him being the fact that he was trying to snatch at the State of the Union. He was the one that got out of his seat and accosted Al Green to take his picture down, his photo, his letters, his little poster that said black people are not apes. But it was MarkWayne Mullin that came over and tried to snatch it out of his hand. Whenever somebody comes and you got something in your hand, if they snatch it, your hand is a part of that product. You can say that person assaulted you because you are a part of it. They don't have to hit your hand. They can just snatch it out of your hand. That's an assault. He went over and tried to assault Al Green, Representative Al Green. Mm-hmm. That's one thing against him. The other, MarkWayne, the man with two first names, that dude is a liar. You know I don't like liars, but we're gonna watch this video. I want you to watch this video. Now, this is when JFK fired a lady. She was a doctor. He fired her. She comes into his office. He says he doesn't trust her, and basically she says what he says verbatim, and this is what happened. And then she got into this meeting. Well, she's in this meeting, this hearing or whatever with the senators, whatever. And everybody's asking questions. And then MarkWayne Mullin has his turn. Just listen to what this man says. And then at the end, you're going to hear what he says again. And this is why I say, you can't trust this dude. None whatsoever. Let's go ahead and listen to what MarkWayne Mullin had to say.
Let me ask you something. Your conversation with the secretary, you said that he said he didn't trust you.
Correct.
You testified to that. Is that really how that conversation went? Because there's other people in the room, and I think the conversation was, can he trust you? And your answer was?
He said he could not trust me.
No. The answer, ma'am, it was a recorded meeting.
Hold it. He said it was a recorded meeting. You can't record people without their knowledge. She didn't know that it was recorded. He says it's a recorded meeting. Let's carry on.
So you can testify one way, or you can prove that you're lying, or give them to be honest with this committee.
He
And I'm
said-
giving you the opportunity to be honest here, because you've been really walking around the edges and not being truthful. So did he ask you the question, can he trust you? And your answer was?
He told me he could not trust me. And I told him if he could not trust me, he could fire me.
That isn't how that conversation went.
Really? Were you there?
And you know that, don't you?
He told me he could not trust me. And I told him if he could not trust me, he could fire me.
Ma'am, all we're looking for is you to be honest. And you haven't been. You're not being honest with the conversation you're having. You're not being honest with the timeline, and you won't even give the answers of who your attorneys were. And all we're looking for is you to be honest. If we're going to have a hearing and we're going to discuss certain things, let's make sure we're talking with someone that we can trust your answers. It's like my kids. I tell my kids all the time, you know,
He brought his kids in it. Let's see what he got to say about the children.
one thing I want from you, I can deal with any situation we walk into as long as I know you're being 100% honest with me. The minute I can't tell you're being honest with me, I can't trust you. From then on, everything you say is questioned.
Oh, that's what I feel too.
And you have to question you because your personality and your answers aren't correct.
I understand Senator Mullin implied there was a recording of the meeting or meetings between Dr. Menarez and Secretary Kennedy.
Oh, okay.
I will note that if materials have been provided to Senator Mullin and invoked in official committee business, they are committee records, and all other senators on the committee have the right to see those records. I will also note, if HHS has a recording, I asked them to release the recording. I'd also like to know why it was recorded. But releasing the recording would be radical transparency.
Facts.
And this is about fulfilling the president's vision of radical transparency. This is allegiance to President Trump's values. And so I'd ask that that recording be released. I'll also note that we put in a request for any documents or communications that would bring transparency to the situation.
Mind you, this dude's a Republican too. This is a Republican. Republican against a Republican. Let's keep it going.
We've not yet received those documents. If a recording does not exist, I ask Senator Mullin to retract his line of questions. For the record,
Now, he just said that I call you a bluff, Mr. Senator MarkWayne Mullin, the dipshit with two first names. I call you a bluff. If you have said tape, because you said it was taped, so if it's taped, then it has to be somewhere in the vicinity. And therefore, you must produce said tape on the record, must produce said tape. Because that way we can all get to the truth. I'm like, amen. Let's hear this tape.
it's just been reported that Senator Mullin told reporters that he was mistaken in saying that the RFK Menarez meeting was recorded. But in case
Was that mistaken or did you lie, bro? Because how can you mistake something that you repeatedly asked her based on the fact? You even brought your kids into it. This right here tells me this is a piece of shit human. Because this man literally brought his children in on a bold-faced lie. To try and prove a point, he tried to get people to look at children in the conversation about teaching them how to be responsible, and that if you lie, you can no longer be a trusted human being. So, ma'am, could you please just tell the truth? Because I know you're lying, because I done heard the tape, and I know for a fact that you're lying through your teeth. You are a liar, woman. You're, what? What'd you say? I got to produce the tape? You know, I misspoke. No, you lied through your fucking teeth. And when you got caught, which you didn't expect because you're white privilege, you didn't expect anybody to call your bluff. They just was going to trust your whiteness, that you was going to be fair and balanced because you're some white dude. No. Another white man asked you to produce said facts, and you had said you had misspoke. You didn't say you lied. Now, your own words. Let me go back. What did you say your own words were?
Prove that you're lying or going to be honest with this committee.
He
And I'm
said-
giving you the opportunity to be honest here because you've been really walking around the edges and not being truthful. So, did he ask you the question, can he trust you? And your answer was?
He told me he could not trust me. And I told him if he could not trust me, he could fire me.
That isn't how that conversation went.
Really? This recording.
And you know that, don't you?
He told me he could not trust me.
Dr. Menorah is
And I
standing
told
10
him
toes
if he could
down.
not trust me, he could fire me.
Ma'am, all we're looking for is you to be honest. And you haven't been. You're not being honest with the conversation you're having. You're not being honest with the timeline, and you won't even give the answers of who your attorneys were. And all we're looking for is you to be honest. If we're going to have a hearing and we're going to discuss certain things, let's make sure we're talking with someone that we can trust in your answers. Just like my kids. I tell my
Okay,
kids all the
your
time.
kids.
You know, one thing I want from you, I can deal with any situation we walk into as long as I know you're being 100% honest with me. The minute I can't tell you're being honest with me, I can't trust you. From then on, everything you say is questioned.
There you go. There you go. So for him, this is his words, not mine. Even though mine was real. He says, if you lie, then everything you say after that is dishonest. I just can't trust you. Like for eternity, you got to be telling the truth. I tell my kids this. Now we know he don't tell his kids this because obviously he was lying. And he was so confident in his lie that nobody, he's going to live unchecked. This man was on camera, on microphone, in front of at least 100 people, talking to millions of people, and then think that 1,000,000 plus 100 was going to check him on his bullshit. And when they call bullshit, it turns out, oh, he was just in an interview. You know what's so trip? Can't find an interview nowhere. I look for it all day. I tried to find this interview he said he was in. I was in the interview. He was in an interview and he just said that he did. I don't see the interview nowhere. Who interviewed him? I ain't saying it didn't happen. It's just not readily available. Where is it? This interview that he had. But regardless, he sent a note because he found out he got fucked over. Oh, shit, he asked for the answer. Now I look like the liar. But he didn't expect people to step on his white privilege and tell him to produce said product because we don't want no liars up in here. And you told your kids that lying was terrible. So now your kids can just lie at will. Hey, little MarkWayne Mullin bastards, y'all can lie to daddy any fucking time you want because daddy don't know what the fucking truth is. He wouldn't know what it is if it bit him in the nuts. He don't know what the fucking truth is because he literally tried to tell a woman who was telling the truth, who gave you the exact words over and over and over again. Stood 10 toes down on what she was saying. But Sir Dipshit here, Mr. Two Names McGee over here talking about, oh, well, I can't trust you. You know what? Fuck you. Fuck you and your whole lineage. Hope you die of some weird disease. You fucking bastard. I can't stand liars. Y'all need to die and die slow. Fucking kills me with this shit. This man gonna sit here and talk shit to this woman about what's truthful and then bring his kids into it. How hateful, how despicable do you have to bring your children in on a lie to justify your lie? You was trying to get a gotcha moment from her and she got your ass. And I don't understand how these pieces of shits get promoted. This man got promoted to a job and he can't tell the truth. He lied. Boldface lied. With confidence. So much confidence, he was trying to disrespect the doctor. And so confident in his privilege that nobody would check him. And when checked, he thought saying, I misspoke is something that gets rid of the lie. And he kept moving. You see what I mean by demon? This man is the devil reincarnated. How the fuck do you not have any emotion after lying through your teeth? How do you not feel how do you go home to your children and say, babies, I lied on air and, you know, don't lie like me. This is my job. I have to lie, but this is wrong. Do you really think he went and told his kids that? No. He brushed that shit off. And if you ask him right now, when you lied about the Dr. Menarez, lied, I misspoke. No, bitch, you lied. When you lied, did you go home and tell your kids that lying was good now? As long as you bring your kids on it? Think about the people who actually know your kids. Think about what your kids went to school that next day and be like, your daddy up here lying like a buffer. You lie like your daddy? Lying like my daddy. Should be a song. Lying like my daddy. It's crazy. And not only is this dude a liar, he's a piece of shit human. And this is why I'm going to tell you why I think he's a piece of shit human. Because I'm going to show you something here. And I don't know if you guys remember it. Because this isn't his only gaffe. His gaffe here, a couple of days ago, was like, this war's blah, 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 the war, whatever. And I'm sorry, I think I attributed this to Pete Hegseth yesterday, I believe. It was actually MarkWayne Mullin who did it. He said, he mentioned like this war, such and such and such, and he goes on. And then they said, so you believe it's a war? He said, what war? It's not a war. He said, you just called it a war. And he thought somebody else said it. Well, they meant something else if the president said it was a war. No, you just said your first words were this war. You said it just now. Oh, I misspoke. Another misspoke. Call him Misspoke Wayne. Fuck that MarkWayne. Misspoke Wayne is his name now. Misspoke. You should start him off and say, hey, miss. Miss, I'm a mister. No, misspoke. Because you keep doing it. Just call him Misspoke Wayne, because this fool can't tell the truth. He literally within 4 words, maybe 8. The war, blah, 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 blah. This war, it's not a war. Bitch, you just said it. Lie so easily. And then had the gall to tell this woman, I can't respect a liar. You got caught in a lie yesterday, or was it today? No, it was yesterday. Got caught in a lie yesterday. You got caught in a lie with this Dr. Menarez. You lie like everybody breathes. That's why Donald Trump loves you. Because you can give a straight face and lie through your teeth. And not only is he a liar, he's a despicable human being. He's a pedophile lover. Or I ain't gonna say pedophile lover, pedophile protector. Not because of Donald Trump. No. Check this out.
You got to think about this guy. This is a guy that the media didn't give a time of day to after he was accused of sleeping with an underage girl. And there's a reason why no one in the conference came and defended him, because we had all seen the videos he was showing on the House floor that all of us had walked away of the girls that he had slept with. He'd brag about how he would crush ED medicine and chase it with an energy drink so he could go all night. This is obviously before he got married. And so when that accusation came out, no one defended him, and then no one on the media would give him a time of the day.
Sorry about that screech noise, because this is an edited video where he reverses himself and says something else. But we're going to play that and I'll turn the audio down for a second. But before we do get to that, I got something to say. Throughout this entire time that Matt Gaetz was talking about, they had been talking about, this was near the latter end of Matt Gaetz' situation. This right here was happening. This interview happened when Matt Gaetz and the other 3 or 4, I think, MAGA people, they was trying to get a speaker, and it was taking forever to get a speaker before they ended up with Mike Johnson. But they tried to get a speaker and just couldn't go through the whole process. 17 times for the speaker that they got. And then after that, they did it again. And soon after this, I think Mike Johnson was selected. But this is when they had Kevin. They had Kevin as the speaker, and he got Kevin McCarthy out of being ousted. It says it right there. So McCarthy. Kevin McCarthy, he got ousted. So the the Matt Gaetz pedophilia thing and the sex trafficking thing was at least a year long at this time. So when the shit happened back then, nobody mentioned about these girls being naked and seeing pictures of naked girls and him doing drugs and all this stuff. I can keep. None of that was mentioned or even spoken about by these Republicans. Although it was in the news media that this was a thing that happened, none of them stood in front of the camera and said a fucking thing about it. They protected this pedophile, being Matt Gaetz. Okay. So they kept this up for the longest time. Matt Gaetz was being investigated. None of them was speaking. But when they started looking stupid, because Matt Gaetz and his married men and women of dipshits decided that they was just going to hold off and get McCarthy out because they couldn't stand him, even though they loved McCarthy and they wanted him in. This was a last-ditch effort to muddy up Matt Gaetz through the public's eyes by literally coming out and telling the truth about shit that reporters and others have been asking them, and they had said, I don't know nothing about it. I don't know nothing about it. Wasn't me. I don't know nothing about it. Don't know nothing about it. And then this right here comes out of nowhere. He catches him going in. I don't know if he was going in to vote or just got finished voting, whatever. And he lets it rip. He came and he had a picture of the naked girls and his underage girls he got caught. Of course, he did it when he was before he got married and blah, 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 blah. Just letting it all rip out. So what you're saying, MarkWayne, or misspoke Wayne Mullin, what you're saying is that this whole time they've been investigating him, you need to be a witness. Because you said you saw the pictures of these young naked girls, which is really child pornography because they were like 17 years old and you saw them naked and he had child pornography on his phone and you didn't say nothing about it. You actually protected it by keeping your mouth shut. You didn't release it until he fucked you over. Then you said something about it. Now we know this entire time you knew he was a pedophile. You had seen pictures of underage girls. You didn't say that you had saw it. But when it was advantageous for you to throw him under the bus so that you guys can move forward and get what you want in life, you had to go ahead to release that information that you always had. Tells us you didn't give a fuck about the girls. You just used it as a weapon. Now, if he'd been kissing your ass this whole time, you would have went the rest of your life acting like you had never seen these naked children and this man who took drugs to keep having sex with this child. You had that information to give once he was taking your guy out of position. But you didn't have it to give when the investigation had started and you had no clue what was going on. Didn't happen. Didn't see it. Don't know what you're talking about. Mum's the word. Piece of shit. So how do you think this man's going to come into a position to protect democracy, to treat these people with respect as you get the criminals out of this country and treat the ones who are citizens with the utmost respect and the ones who are doing the process like we have always said and following up, leaving them alone and letting them continue out their process and not snatching them up and sending them out of the country, seeing as how they haven't committed a crime. How can we trust he's going to do that when the man lies everywhere the wind blows and holds back the truth until it's advantageous for him to release it? You think he's going to go in there and tell the truth about anything that happens behind the scenes? Is he going to be transparent? Fuck no. Is he going to have any empathy or sympathy? Fuck no. Will he be thrown under the bus if something go wrong? Of course. But they sign up for this shit. But that's the man. And then he continued, hold your ears because he's going real loud noise. I'm sorry.
Are you going to vote for Matt Gaetz?
You know, Matt Gaetz and I, there's no question that we've had our differences. They've been very public about it. I completely trust President Trump's decision-making on this one. But at the same time, he's got to come to Congress and sell himself. There's a lot of, or to the Senate and sell himself. There's a lot of questions that are going to be out there. He's got to answer those questions. And hopefully he's able to answer the questions right.
There you go. So he was asking, was he going to vote for him for Attorney General? He was running for Attorney General. He would not have to vote because Matt Gaetz pulled out of that. But when he was asked, would he vote for him to become the Attorney General? He said, I trust Donald Trump. If Donald Trump appoints him to the position, then I'm going to say yes. Because it's advantageous for me to say yes to this man. No morals, nothing, y'all. It's hard to have love for humanity when you see people like this. It's hard. They make it hard because they make you wonder how many more people are like this piece of shit human. I've seen it in just about every race that I don't work with. There's one in every race, I'm sure. Mostly in my life, personally, it has been Latin people in my life. Not all Latin people. I'm just saying at my jobs that I've worked with in life, it has always been a Latin person that throws black people under the bus. Don't get me wrong. I'm talking about people of color. It has always been white people. But I'm saying is the people of color. The first to throw that I've seen black people under the bus, Latin people. That's the first I've seen in my life. I'm not talking about generics. I'm not talking about in general. I'm just talking about specifically in my life. And that doesn't mean the entire race. Shut it down. I ain't talking about everybody's race. I'm just talking about in my life. I don't know, in your life, it may have been whatever, you know. But in my life, in the industry that I was in, it was Latin people. I mean, they would kiss the ass of a white person in a heartbeat. You couldn't tell the difference between this Latin dude that I knew, his ass and his lips and the white person's ass. It was like always stuck to it. And he would just sit there like, just do your work, bro. You ain't got to lick his butt crack every time I walk in a room. And that was one person at one job, but every job I went through in the industry, it was always, and it's like it was a competition or some shit. I'm sitting there like, dude, just work hard, man. Do your thing. What's the ass kissing about? It was weird. Not all Latin people now, you know. I had really good Latin friends who were just as cool as I was. We hung out, drinks, and had a great time. But if it was always a sellout, it was almost always a light-skinned, almost white Latin dude. Almost always. And I was like, damn, these light-skinned Latin dudes that I've been around, they just do not like black people. And they just love to kiss white people's ass, which I ended up having to go off on one dude from Venezuela before this Venezuelan shit happened when he voted for Donald Trump. He went off on TikTok. Went off and saying, we don't need black people and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, dude, why? Why all the time? It's one of you light-skinned Latin people that's always saying you don't need somebody. Nobody said they wanted you. Nobody even mentioned it. What are you talking about? But they will always go off. We don't need you, blah, blah, blah. And then they started swiping up Venezuelan people, not just Latin people, Venezuelan people, like it was the thing to do. And I'm like, this, it's fucked up. But you got to have love for everybody and quit trying to fuck people over to get ahead. You are too brilliant and great by yourself, no matter what race, color, and creed you are. You don't have to compete with somebody. You have a gift in you that nobody else has. You are just as individual as a fucking snowflake. There is nobody like you. I don't care if you're in the same industry. You got something in you that person doesn't have. That extra little oomph that has your name on it turns you into something that's better for you and for the people who are going to either buy your product or your service or whatever it may be. There's no competition needed, not unless you're in a sport or some shit. But being you, loving what you do, nobody can ever compare to that. But I always, I see people do this shit. And like I said, in everybody's life, there's other people. Your life, it may have been a black person. In your life, May have been Asian people, whatever it is. But we've all seen it, like I said, in every race. We've seen that character that always has to try and fuck somebody over to get ahead instead of just going off their own merit. And we see it in this dude, MarkWayne Mullin. We saw it with Pete Hegseth. We see it with all these people that say that they have merit and nobody else does. And it kills me because like MarkWayne Mullin has no education in the job in which he's about to fulfill. No resume. Has never done the job. Learning on the job for an entire fucking country. Learning on the job for an entire fucking country was Kristi GNOME. Learning on the job for the entire fucking country is Pete Hegseth. Learning on the job, cockeyed Kash Patel. All his administration are learning on the job to take care of an entire fucking country. You wouldn't let somebody learn how to cook your food without learning how to cook. They walk in, what's that? That's a pot. Oh, okay. What's that? Pan. Okay. What's that? Oh, the glass. This motherfucker don't know nothing. Why are you here? Why are you at the restaurant? You don't even know what to... Oh, well, they hired me anyway. I just figured out how to do it. He's going to end up walking into this position. What do I do? Because he can't come in knowing what he's going to do. He don't have no strategy. He just got handed this job. What do I do? Oh, you just sit there and look good. But what if I don't look good? Read a book. What the fuck? I don't know. Get this manual. Do something. What the fuck? That's what they're doing with our country. This country is too important for people to be learning on the job. This is the learning on the job administration. No education included. Jesus Christ. It's crazy, y'all. I'm learning on the job. I don't care what. I just want somebody who knows how to do the job. You can have different ideals than me, but just know how to do the job. Just know how to do the job. No matter what. Come in saying, have you ever did anything in Border Patrol? No. The very least you should be able to do has to have worked at the Border Patrol before. Were you ever a leader in the Border Patrol? Yeah. Have you seen how Border Patrol works? Yeah. Do you know ideas of how to make Border Patrol work even better? I understand you was in Border Patrol for 20-something years, and then you went to management and you was running how many people? 300 people? Or you was manager of 300 people at Border Patrol. Okay, good. So have you ever did anything with law? Do you know anything about law or anything? Yeah, I did it. You are a possible employee or for this leadership position. MarkWayne Mullin, what have you done? Can you spell Border Patrol? Let me see. Is it 2 O's in border or 1? Got the job. Got the job. Come on, boy. You know what you're talking about. I think there's 2 in it. He was right. Jesus Christ. You got to be a dipshit to be in this office. I promise you guys, I just, sometimes you got to laugh to stop crying because this shit is insane. No education, no job experience. And they leading shit. Have you been a manager of anything before? No, I just been a farmer. Oh my God. You mean to tell me MarkWayne Mullin is a farmer and yet he's going to... You're a farmer. Have you hired immigrants before? Oh, yeah. How do you feel about immigrants? Well, they work hard. Okay. Would you have a problem with just beating one up? Does Donald Trump want me to? Yeah. No problem. Jesus. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm done. I am done. I just can't take any more of this. We got a huge liar that tries to tell people that, lying, you should never trust a person again ever in their life as he's lying. Gets caught in his lie, and he's still in a leadership position. Never said he apologized to the lady for lying to her and calling her a liar. Didn't apologize to her. No respect to her. Total disrespect. No morals. Every day there's something. I want to find some good news. If y'all find any, please next time put it in the comments. We can just talk about that, because I promise you, this shit right here is depressing. We ain't got nothing but liars in office mostly, especially the Republicans and Democrats too, but the Republicans on a different level with this shit. And as a country, please understand where we really stand. If anything we learned today is that Iranians hollering and screaming death to America is justified. It's justified. You don't deserve to be called a beacon on a hill in a lovely, country. What we think of our country inwardly, because what we've dealt with, that's a whole different other aspect of how other people receive us. And we have to understand it. We can't ask, again, I liken it to this. You can't ask white people to accept their past and listen, get over it, and so we can get through it and be better allies, be better stewards of the truth. We can't ask that and without asking Americans, learn about the history of this country and stop jumping to conclusions and thinking that we were the better person in a conflict. If we are, thank God. But as you start to learn history, you'll find it's hard to find one. I'm on the lookout for one, because I just want to be proud. Other than just of the people, I'm talking about of the country. There's a difference too. Please understand that. There's a difference being proud of your country and being proud of the people who live in your country. I'm proud of the people, the good people that live in this country, and I think that's the majority. The rest of y'all can get fucked. The ones, the 30% that's always on a constant basis of center me. I hate this, I hate that. You should just leave. How the fuck you don't? Why you here when all good people just want to get along, have a good life, raise their kids, as much economics as they can, buy a house, live their life until they retire and have a good time, and hopefully die in some peace and not like in pain. That's what most people want. But you pieces of shit human beings that's dragging this country through so much shit for power, for hate, division. Ugh, I can't stand y'all. God should just do a cleansing. If you come back, Jesus, take them. No, don't take them with you. Take us. But take them, open up the ground and throw them where they belong. Get them up out of here. Good night. I ain't gonna lie. There's been times that I prayed to God to snatch up the evil people in the country. I ain't gonna lie. I tell the truth. I'll ask him. It ain't never happened. Disappointing. But I'll ask him, God, please take the evil people out of the country. Why'd you build them? Why'd you let them come into the earth? I know it's free will, but once they show their free will to be demonic and evil, why don't you just snatch their ass up and throw them into hell? Why are you letting them live, Lord? Why? He never answers, but that's why I kind of fell out of belief, because I'm like, you can't tell me you created this shit and you want me to live in it. I can't be better than you. How is it that I got better morals than Jesus? If it was me, I'd get rid of him. How the hell Jesus sitting around like, hey, let him stay? What? Say what? I don't know about that guy. I don't know about that. How you let bad people just sit and hang with the people who are trying their damnedest to get close to you? But the ones who are horrible, you keep promoting. I don't know about all that. I'm struggling with it. It's my thing. I ain't trying to say y'all need to be there. But I'm struggling with that. Have been for a long time. But I believe in God. I love God. It's everything else that I'm trying to like flaky with. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you. Much love to y'all. Y'all have a good night. Be safe. Hug your loved ones. Learn the facts so you can be on the right side of history and not on the wrong side. And don't get me wrong. We've all been on the wrong side of history. But once we learn, we have a choice to get on the right side. I had to learn what we did to Iran, and I'm on the right side of history now. I just am. The war needs to end. America needs to apologize to Iran for the shit they did to them. And we need to set this country on the right track so that it can become the beacon that we've always professed it to be, the American citizens, while our leaders have often went against everything this country has grown up to believe it stood for. So it's not you that are bad. It's our leaders who have lied to us. They're the evil ones while lying to us. Because if we go to any country and vice versa, they come to here, good people of their country are just good people. It's the evil, the billionaires who do their damnedest to divide us and cause hate and dissension. Because hate and dissension, the minority of us win. Love and connections and respect, the rich lose. Because they're just hateful. They can't win if we're all united on just leaving each other the fuck alone and running our country the way we decide to run it and fighting for what we want in our country. If Iran wants a democracy, let them fight for it. Leave us the fuck out of it. Vice versa. If we want to get rid of this regime, we need to get rid of this regime of Donald Trump. We don't need no external sources or forces. If we love it, we need to fight for it. Nobody else. Nobody else. That's the way I feel about it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, much love to y'all. Y'all have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow around the same time. It'll be Friday. I also got my music show later on that evening on TikTok. So if you want to come there, if you like old school music, we do that right after this show tomorrow night. All right? Much love to y'all. And I'll see you when I see you.